Hello and welcome to Interactive Distractions, episode number 456. My name is Chris Fricchio, and I'm here with Jason A. Striker.
Oh, hi, it's me.
And Jeff Chorney.
What up, everyone?
Who is mislabeled in the background.
Oh, shit. I'll fix that.
I am Travis Baum today.
I did have that fixed at one point. I didn't click save. Let me go do that. It's Jeff, and then save, and then it'll be fine now.
Hey, all right, look at that.
There we go.
Guys, that's awesome.
Feels so much better now.
God, I'm so sorry about that.
That's okay. Don't let it happen again.
We chatted a little bit before we started, and we don't really have any updates. It's been a couple weeks, but nothing interesting has happened, so we're just going to jump right into fucking games and do that. So let's do that for a change. I know we've got a few little things before we get to the big ones, so Jeff, why don't you start us out?
I finished Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes.
Yes.
How many endings did you go through? How many save scums?
I only did one.
Really?
Shit. I only played to get one, and then I looked up a few on YouTube after.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Just to kind of see. I just looked up a couple that pertain to kind of my character and my romance or whatever. So very happy with my ending.
Good.
And you romanced Karlach, correct?
I did. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Or does she romance you?
Oh yeah, she romanced me. Yeah, can't tame that beast. She's got to decide she wants to be tamed. Sorry, no spoilers. So yeah, well, let's not get into that. If we do a spoiler show though,
we're doing a spoiler show now that all four of us have played it. Oh yeah, we're actually doing one.
Yeah,
we've got to.
Because I don't think a lot of people chose the ending I did, especially based on the percentage of the achievement.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh wow, because
I did not go that route. I did not go the route you went, and I'm actually pretty intrigued by some of the stuff you talked about. So I want to go into more
detail of why I did it and why this game is so good, because choices are not black and white at all in this.
No.
Some things you think are bad are not bad, and some things you think are good are not good. And I mean, I loved it, man.
I think the biggest testament to that is what happened to Jason when he just basically didn't have Loisel.
Didn't have Loisel.
I'm sorry, that's a huge thing, right? So
yeah.
I'm so glad that you enjoyed it, because I was worried that you were going to get to Act 3 and just kind of be overwhelmed by just the sheer amount of shit on the map.
I was overwhelmed, but then I was like, just keep doing it like every other act. Just kind of chip away at it, and you'll find stuff as you go. I didn't stress out over not knowing how to solve a certain quest right away, because the game doesn't want you to do that. You're going to stumble upon stuff later, even hours later. Like you're not going to be able to do certain things. There is one quest line that I did not finish that I kept in my mind. I wanted to, just because I wanted to see the outcome, and that was finding all the body parts for the clown.
Oh yeah.
So, but whatever, not a big deal. I'm just going to save a lot of stuff for my next playthrough, because that's what I wanted. That's what I've been free to play anything I want since.
And you went back to Baldur's Gate?
No, I haven't. I'm not going to. Like, I want to, like, that's all I've been thinking about, though. I just want to play more Baldur's Gate. When did I beat it? On Monday? No, on the weekend? I can't remember now. I can't remember which day I beat it.
I think it was over the weekend that you mentioned.
I think it might have been. I think it was on Sunday night. Because I remember thinking, like, okay, I'm going to play for like half an hour. And then I played the entire last part of it that ended up being like 4 hours long.
It's really hard to put it down during that part, though.
Oh, I couldn't. I was like, I can't stop here. I can't stop here. And then I was like, oh, this is going to be a good spot. Then I talked to someone. I'm like, no, I can't stop here. I'm like, no.
I got like 2 hours into it, and I had to stop. There was literally something that I had to go do, and I was like, it was one of those moments where, you know, they're like, what was it? Trying to think. They're like completely random reference, but did you ever see the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie Eraser?
Oh sure.
Yeah, the long.
And he pops out of the thing and picks up those two like whatever
the lightning guns or whatever.
And when they tell him to put them down, he kind of looks at them and then gives like this horrible sad face that he doesn't want to put the guns down. That's how I felt about this game. It's like, I just don't want to put it down, right? So
yeah.
Yeah, completely random, analogy, but there you go.
Yeah.
I'll probably play through it again at some point. Definitely want to.
I still want to as well.
But yeah, it's if I did finish it last year, it probably would have been number 1 in my game of the year. But I am still sticking with, as of last year, I would still go with Resident Evil, but I didn't play Baldur's Gate at the right time. So maybe I'll carry it over. No, I did have it on my list, so I can't carry it over this year. Even though, But yeah, no, it was awesome. One of my favorite games of all time, like easily. And I've been stewing over it for almost a week now, and I'm still like, no, it's fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played a little bit more of our multiplayer game. We're still in Act 3, and we just got to level 11.
I don't think I like playing in multiplayer.
I'll be honest with you. Like, if you're going to play multiplayer, you should not play with more than 3 players. Like, do not play with 4 players.
I don't like playing with one other person. Playing with a buddy of mine, he's been bugging me, and like,
Jeff, I said I was sorry, man. It was just a joke.
Damn it, Jason, ruin it for the rest of us.
Mind you, he was like bugging me to play it when I was playing my single player stuff. So I was kind of like, oh, this is single player time, whatever. And then I don't know, like I like to pay attention to everything, even though we're doing stuff that I've already seen technically. And he keeps suggesting doing stuff that he already did. I'm like, well, I don't want to do stuff that I already did in my other playthrough. I want to see like new stuff. And then I was starting thinking like, well, if I want to do that, I just want to, again, do it on my own terms. Like I'm being a control freak. I'm like, no, I want to control my character. I don't want to be like, fuck that.
That's fine. That's fine.
So, yeah, absolutely. And the one thing that I'm happy about is like the multiplayer game that we're doing. We're not doing a lot of skipping of cutscenes. Like even the stuff that people have seen already, we're continuing to. We might go through them a little faster because we're reading instead of just listening to the voice acting.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we're going through most of the cutscenes. We're not like skipping over things, and I just don't want to. Like the stuff is so good, it's.
Yeah, my stuff's more like just inventory management and stuff like that. I just like to rather do myself and just. You ready? You're gonna buy something? Okay, now you're gonna do this. Okay. You're like, all right, so what do you have? What do I need? Okay, you want to do this mission? No, you want to do that one? Okay, cool. And I don't know, it's just too much. I don't think it flows well. I think with you guys, because you guys have all beat it, I think at least once. Maybe if he's beaten it, it might be a bit different because he's playing like 3 different multiplayer games right now of it, and he's not out of Act 1. So, but anyway, yes.
So the inventory management thing, I will tell you how I got out of that. I have a character with a strength of 8, so I just don't pick up anything.
Yeah. No, I just mean in multiplayer.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Let them do it. Yeah.
Just let them do it. It's like
give me the scraps, give me what you don't need, and
exactly. And then I'm the high charisma, high persuasion character, so I actually go to the shop. And then I say, okay, I'm ready. Everybody just transfer your stuff to me and I'll sell it all. Right. And that's how we end up doing things.
Yeah. Nice.
It's fun.
But other than that, I played a little bit of Mario Wonder, but I have not played enough to talk about it. I played the first four stages.
Okay.
So
is that enough to be enamored by it?
I wouldn't say enamored because I haven't. And part of that's because of the big Prince of Persia. We're going to talk about it later, but basically, it has nothing bad against the game whatsoever. It's just not in the right not the right time for me to kind of plow through that yet.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay.
I liked it though. What I played of it so far.
Good. Awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
What?
I think you just had Prince of Persia.
Yeah,
right?
that's it.
So, Oh, okay. I thought maybe you might have got some Tekken in there.
No.
Oh, Tekken. Did you get a chance to? No chance to play Tekken?
Like an hour or so, and apparently the online's busted for both this game and Uni 2, which just came out like yesterday. So like 2 fighting games that just came out within days of each other. The online's busted in both, so it's like I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Like great scores though, man.
Sure,
like higher than I've ever seen for them.
Where it really counts in the online mode, fucking busted.
Not so good.
So let's see if they improve upon that. Fingers crossed.
Okay. Good stuff. Yeah. I just have a few things that I'll blitz through because it was mostly Prince of Persia. I did start playing Final Fantasy Remake, Final Fantasy 7 Remake.
Oh, yeah.
I think I had that itch from Final Fantasy 16, and then I saw that Rebirth is coming out at the end of next month.
Yep.
So I actually pre-ordered Rebirth already, and now I'm playing Remake. But I'm only like 2 or 3 hours in. I literally just met Tifa. though. After you finish the reactor at the beginning, you go to the town and you meet Tifa, and there's like so now I'm in that town portion where I'm talking to everybody and doing that. So I basically did that, and then Prince of Persia came out. So that's
how hard was it going back to that style of RPG after Baldur's Gate, or even after Final Fantasy 16? Not the style, but the dialogue and the way everything is delivered.
And that's the thing, and so going back to Final Fantasy 16 was hard after Baldur's Gate, because like the facial expressions and like what you get from the dialogue in Baldur's Gate, and then you move to Final Fantasy 16 and everything feels very empty. Like the lines feel very empty because they don't have a ton of expression on their face. There's a little bit in 16, but not anything like what's in Baldur's Gate. So it was almost jarring, like going back to that. Because obviously the voice acting is there. The voicing acting in 16 is really good too. But I don't know. It felt like it definitely felt like something was missing.
I don't know if I can take the overall anime of it. I loaded it up a while back for something. I can't remember what it was for. I think I was contemplating playing through it again, like you kind of did before Rebirth comes out.
Yeah.
And I played the beginning area, and I was just like, this is after 16. I don't think it was quite. I think I might have been after when we played our multiplayer bit of Baldur's Gate. But I was like, I don't know. It was just grating to my ears, and I know.
Yeah, Barrett is over the top. That's really my big thing. Is Barrett is way over the top. I feel like when I think back to how I felt when I played 7 originally when I was on PS1, I certainly didn't take when I was reading all
imagining their
stuff,
voice.
I wasn't imagining that from Barrett, right? Like he was very, very over the top. But I mean, it's good. Like I'm having fun with it. I honestly, I'm probably going to be one of the few people that says this, but I kind of wanted them just to do the regular battle system that Final Fantasy VII did. I would have appreciated that. I don't mind what they did, but I kind of liked. I feel like I want that experience again, because they've done so many changes to the battle systems over the years since 9, like 10, 11, 12, 13. Like they're all very different with the way the combat works. I kind of wanted to go back to that like simple thing. But I'm enjoying what it's got, and like visually it's stunning. The voice acting,
I loved it. I thought it was really good.
Voice acting is pretty good. It's not as good as 16, but it's certainly serviceable. I'm definitely getting the memories. Like when the first boss that drops down, it was like, I remember this guy. You don't really think about it until you get there. But yeah, it was pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to playing some more of that. Let's see. I played a little bit of Warhammer Dark Tides.
Yeah.
Very Left 4 Dead-ish to me. That's the way it kind of feels.
Yep.
I have some buddies that play it every Wednesday night, so I'm trying to kind of work my way into that. I played they've got like a magic user class, and I'm not sure that was the right person to start with. Like he's the skill that he has that he can use, it's very, very powerful, but the dude is super squishy, and it takes like 3-4 seconds to get that move off, and you can only do it twice before you have to basically, I don't remember what they call
long
it,
rest
essentially. You kind of have to rest to bring your bring down. There's like a percentage that goes up, and if you hit 100%, you die. If you do the move twice, you're at like 90, so you have to kind of rein it back in. But we played just a few missions, and went up a few levels, got a few skills, but it was fun.
How'd you like the music?
Good stuff.
Did you get into any of the like heavy metal chanting shit? Like it gets really intense.
No, I didn't, and honestly, it was difficult to it was difficult to hear because I turned down the volume on the game so I could hear the other players.
Okay.
Because when I had it up, it was way too high.
Oh damn.
So I don't know if you want to cut this out or not, but I just heard my dog bark. I gotta let him in.
Yeah, go for it. We're not gonna cut
you
shit.
played Final Fantasy, right? Fuck cutting shit. Yeah. It takes effort. Did you play a remake of Final Fantasy? You did, right?
A little bit, yeah. And I got sick of the 30 frames per second and motion blurring and shit. So I waited for the PC version, which I have now, which runs a lot better for me. But I feel like I've got to wait until like the Rebirth is, like either out or something. I don't know.
Building up to it.
Yeah, I guess so. Like,
So
I keep trying to work it into my backlog, I guess.
yeah, I was like, my original plan was to wait until the game was fully released,
Sure.
and then I was going to play it back to back. I didn't like. I just found out that it was 3 games a few months ago. Like, I thought it was only going to be 2 games. So that kind of curbed that a little bit.
Okay.
And then I found out that you can't. Yeah. And then I found out you can't move your characters over from one to the other. And I was like, oh well, it's just 3 separate games now. So might as well play it that way. But it's good stuff. The last thing I'm going to mention is just real quick. I've been continuing to play Beat Saber, getting back into that just to, honestly, more than anything, like get myself back and moving. Yeah, I'm playing VR2, PSVR 2. And the only reason I bring it up is because if you have VR and you do not have Beat Saber, that's a disservice to yourself.
Yep.
Like, get this game. It's really good. They keep releasing free songs. They're up to like, I think they have like 7 total like free track list sets, equating to like 30-40 songs. And then you can like buy extra songs as well. And like I like on the latest soundtrack they released, they have a Lindsey Sterling song, which I thought was really cool. So and the song was hard. Like I got through it on hard and I put it on expert and I'm like, nope, can't do that. We're gonna practice for a while, but yeah, if if you have VR, just buy that game. It's so good.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if pretty much anyone who has VR has that game already.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the Wii Sports of VR.
I really feel like it should be.
Sorry, what are you saying, Jason?
Griffin just can't get into it. Like, he's never tried it. Like, I keep like trying to prod him into it because I think he's starting to get into music and stuff. And he can identify songs that he really likes and whatnot. And he'll sing songs out of, like context and stuff. So like, I think he would enjoy it, but he hasn't taken the plunge yet. So
I need to take my, I still have my
chat room.
Yeah.
I still have my my original PSVR, and the kids have a PS4. My old PS4 hooked up in like the game room upstairs. Yep. So I'm gonna hook it up there and let them try it out. But I've kind of been waiting for the 12-year-old thing, and more for Crystal than me, but because Alora's not there yet. But
yeah.
My son can play it. Like, we'll see what happens.
True.
But that's it for me. And then Prince of Persia, which we certainly need to. Oh,
Jason beat it.
Jason did beat it.
I played the shit out of that
game. Dude.
Oh my god,
that game! I was surprised. Like, I usually like blow through Metroidvanias, and Jason's like 3 days in. Oh yeah, I beat it. I'm done.
Yeah. I played it at regularly.
Well, you weren't done though.
I did turn it down for a couple of fights because they were like super frustrating at the time, and I'm just like, I can't deal with this. I want to kill myself. Let me turn it down for this fight or whatever. But for the most part, like it. You know what? This is a really, really, really good Metroidvania, and it hit at the right time. So like I couldn't put it down. It was like another Super Mario Brothers of Wonder situation where it's just like all of a sudden it's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I've been playing all night, and I don't want to stop. So like during that weekend or whatever, it was just like I played until like 5 in the morning. I slept for about 4 or 5 hours and immediately got
woke up and played it again.
Yep, started going right back into it. So I would not stop.
So you hated it.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Back in the day, we called that terrible distraction.
But dude, God, I never at any point felt stupid playing that game, which is saying something, I think, because I very frequently feel that.
Feel stupid.
But if I was stuck in a puzzle, it's like, I feel like I can figure this out, and I normally would after a few tries. And the same thing with like the platforming as well. Like it's very precision platforming at times, but you knew what you had to do. Yeah, and
it's so tight.
The controls are there. Like you just need to execute on it. You know what you have to do, and it just takes a little bit of muscle memory and a little bit of luck sometimes. But
and one of the really good things about the platforming that I wanted to point out was that they don't, like, you do get punished for failing at the platforming, but it's not a ton. Like you might
You
lose
lose a
like
little
you
bit
might
of life,
lose,
spikes and stuff.
yeah, like if you hit spikes and stuff like that, or if you get smashed, like you only lose like half a bar or something
and
like
it
that.
resets
So-
immediately. Like,
and it
puts you right
resets
back,
immediately.
yeah.
Like it feels like the feeling I get when I die doing platforming in this is similar to like Super Meat Boy, and that's a good thing. So because you die and you immediately restart from where you were, and the punishment is minimal, and you can try it again. And but it's like we were saying that like it's the controls are so tight, and the moves that they give you, like the time moves that they give you, are so interesting. Like they're not anything. Most of them are not anything new, but the way that they use them to create platforming challenges is very, very cool. And I, there's a couple that you just kind of stare at the screen, and you're like, okay, how do I get through this?
Right.
So if I can dash there and jump there and bounce off that wall, and it's really, really cool the way they put it all together.
It's finely crafted. Like I said,
Yes.
like everything just feels like, and like once I've done it, I feel like, wow, that was really smart. Not necessarily of me, but like of them. It's like they put these 3 different powers in this one particular challenge or rumor or whatever, and it's just God. Oh God.
And when it clicks, you're like, damn it. And it does give you that I'm fucking smart feeling.
Yep.
It's like,
yeah,
I did it.
It's a sense of accomplishment when you get through it. That's, yeah.
I haven't even talked about the fucking combat yet. The combat is really good.
Yeah.
They give you.
I want to pause for 1 second.
Yeah.
And without spoiling anything, you mentioned that there were a couple of enemies that you had to turn down the difficulty.
Yeah.
Was one of them a female combatant on the back of an animal?
No, not that one.
Not that one? Okay. Because
nope.
that one almost got me. I was like, there's like 2 moves that she has that I can't. It's like, how do you dodge that? There's no way to dodge it. You just kind of have to suck it up and take the hit.
The one I remember is the guy with the bow. Okay. I couldn't stay in on him. Yeah.
I haven't gotten to him yet, I don't think.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
Same.
That was tough.
The one with the one you're talking about, Chris, I'm trying to think if I've gotten to that part yet. Maybe not. I'm just starting to hit like some of the cool platforming parts. Like I'm about to get my second. I guess it depends what direction you go into, but I guess a second time power or whatever.
Yeah, the boss I'm talking about is there's an area that you have to have 3 time powers to get into.
Oh, okay. Then I've definitely
and that's where she's at. She's there.
Okay, gotcha.
And the map is fucking huge, man. It's
pretty big.
It's like I thought Bloodstained was big, and I'm pretty sure this is bigger. I'm almost positive that it's bigger than Bloodstained. So
that's not always a good thing, though. But so far, it seems it's well crafted. I think the fast travel points are a bit far apart, though.
Yeah,
like if you need to get to one, it's like shit. Okay,
I agree with you. But there's also not at least to the point where I'm at, and Jason, just to give you kind of a non-spoiler view of where I'm at, I'm on my way to the second constellation.
Okay. Yep. Of 4, yeah.
Yes, and so
and you can do those in any order that you want, actually.
Right, so. and there, but up to this point, there has not been a lot of necessary backtracking.
Yep.
For story progression, like all the story progression seems to be in a new area. So even when you get the new moves, there's a couple of doors that will open up, but it's not like those doors. Like the doors are right next to one of the fast travel points usually. So they do a good job of making it a little quicker.
If you want to upgrade anything, you need to go back to like the Haven.
The Haven, yeah.
Yeah, and that can be a pain, especially when you're like, oh, I have enough to like upgrade I was about to say Estus flask, but potion. That's just a minor gripe I have with it, and it's not even that bad right now. It's just a couple times. Like I turned down the difficulty too. Mine happened when I lost about half an hour of gameplay time, and I was just like, nope, I'm not doing this with a Metroidvania. If it's I don't need every game to be fucking hard. Sometimes I just want to kick some ass and do some exploring and Persia my prince. So I turned it down to easy and just was like, yeah. And there's even a customizable thing you can do too.
Oh yeah.
You don't. So like,
I'm
Yeah,
using
there's
some of
just
the
like
custom.
sliders for like, all the damage you do to enemies and how much you take from them. And
I basically turned on. There's a couple accessibility items they give you where you can basically say, show me where I need to go next. Right. There's a and they'll put like a thing on the map. So I put that on, and I think there's like one other accessibility thing I put on, and that was pretty much it.
And the map thing isn't even that big of a deal.
No,
like most Metroidvanias do that now anyway.
It's like super helpful. Like, and I didn't feel like I was spoiling anything. It's just like,
no,
duh. Like that's where I have to go.
It's
just like it was helping you remember where it is. That's all.
Exactly. It's saying it's in this area. You got to figure out how to get there, but it's in this vicinity, and just that's where you go.
It's crazy that we're talking about this game, and it's like one of the most approachable games in this genre. Like we were talking about the platforming, and we didn't even talk. There's a way to skip platforming.
Yeah.
Like if there's a really challenging platforming section, there's an accessibility option that allows you just to skip it. Yeah, I'm not going to do that either, but or I'm going to try not to.
I checked it out one time, and it was just like you hop into a portal and it'll take you to the other side. But it doesn't give you that option for like when you're getting like a Xerxes coin.
Xerxes coin.
Yeah, it doesn't let you skip that stuff. But
I guess that makes sense because a lot of those, like you actually have to go through a difficult platforming, pick it up, and get back.
Yep.
So
land,
that's a lot of times that's the hard part is getting back. So yeah, that's good. Like that's actually good.
Oh yeah, the ones that the coin follows you type thing.
Yeah,
like
the those kind of following you until you get to solid ground again. That which is also a really cool feature. Like this like. Yeah, and you can't cheat the system. Like I tried to leave I guess it's one of the time
silhouette
powers.
Or whatever.
Yeah, I tried to leave one of the silhouettes and warp back, and as soon as you warp back, the coin's like, nope, I'm staying here.
Nice.
Like, fuck you.
Baldur's Gate would have let you do it.
It's true.
But yeah, Jason, you were mentioning haven't even started talking about the combat.
Yeah, it's super tight. Like, you get a bunch of like amulets that'll help you like enhance different abilities to the point where it's like, you just mentioned that teleport that you can kind of go back and to where you originally set your thing. But you can equip like an amulet where it's like it'll form like a laser in between like you and where your body was or shit like that. So there's tons of different options for you to like, customize it to how you want to play. But like the controls are tight, like you're hitting 3-hit combos, and like there's another amulet where it's like it'll let you hit additional times. The combo. Yeah, extend the combos and stuff. And
I love
environmental shit too.
Environment, yes, you can absolutely throw dudes into spikes. And they instantly die when you do it. Like it's great.
There's jungle. There's really good parrying. Fuck yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I am avoiding the parrying, and the reason is because the punishment for missing the parry is so much.
Get good, like, Chris.
I know, but like if I do a ton of dodging, right? So
sure.
But if you miss a dodge, you just take normal damage. If you miss a parry, it's almost like you take double damage, and some of the shit hits really hard. And I'm like, I just don't.
Yeah.
Did you put the parry window higher?
I didn't change any of that. No.
I thought it was fine to.
Yeah, I'm not like to
begin with.
I wouldn't say I'm struggling with it. I think it's about where it should be. Like
I'm overly twitchy sometimes.
I deserve to get that one fucked. But
yeah, I'm overly twitchy sometimes where I'll anticipate it way too early, and so I get hit by when I try and parry. There's a lot of times when I'm getting hit with that.
It's kind of hard to do on reaction sometimes. Like it's more memorizing their moves and like the timing on that stuff.
You kind of got to plan out the fact that you're gonna parry, and that's
and then you got to hope
do
that comes out. And not the right one.
But I love when they do those yellow attacks, and like those you're supposed to parry because you'll get that cinematic counterattack and kill them instantly. It's so fucking satisfying.
And you get health back, I think, from it too.
There's an amulet that lets you do that. Yeah, and this is where the accessibility went wrong because there is no colorblind option, and the red and the yellow. I at the heat of the moment, I can't tell the difference. I am not fast enough to say, that was red. Don't parry. Nope. I try and parry, and I get my ass handed to me.
Damn.
So That's one of those things.
See, that
like,
makes sense.
Yeah, please give me a colorblind option to make those a little bit more distinctive, because
that's like how you beat
I am avoiding
is using those yellow parries.
And there are some that are where the yellow like the yellow is enough that it's easy to see, but like especially on like smaller enemies, sometimes it's hard for me to tell, like in the heat of the moment while I'm playing a game, that whether it's a yellow or a red one. So it's just it's frustrating, but that's one of the reasons I'm avoiding parrying. I'm mostly sticking to dodging and dodging, tripping, and launching, because all of those work really well. Yep. Like I especially like the trip and launch. Like that's great. I love doing
down
that.
An attack,
down an attack, trips them up, and then as soon as you trip them up, you slam them into the ground again, and then you can launch them up in the air, and you can start fucking them up. It's great.
That's great. Air juggles.
And it's one fucking button. They did all this with one button combat. I love it, because it's like it's all like strategic with like the direction you're using on the stick, and whether you're holding the button. Like if you use one of the launcher attacks and you hold the button down, you follow them up and you get to beat them up in the air. And then after you do the combo in the air, if you time it right, you can dash over and do it again. Like it's really great.
It's really good.
The dash is amazing.
Guys,
like this game. This is one of the best Metroidvanias that I've ever played.
Yeah, when I first saw this game, like it looked to me like an Xbox Live Arcade game, like that kind of scope. And then it was coming from Ubisoft, and it's like they're trying to do something new with Prince of Persia. Well, not new, but just
let me tell you about a Metroidvania that was an Xbox Live Arcade game that is one of the best Metroidvanias of all time. Shadow Complex.
Right. Yes. It certainly evokes that.
Excuse me, sir.
But as it turns out,
we'll never see two.
No, we won't. I came in with very, very low expectations and just ready to write this off. But I played the demo, and it scratched an itch. And I'm like, okay, all right, let's give this a shot. And it turns out this is one of my favorite Metroidvanias of all time. It's so good. Oh my god,
it's definitely up there. Like they did a fantastic job with what I played so far. It's been a great experience. So
oh damn, video games.
Yeah,
they're
good
fun.
video games.
Sometimes
there is some.
I wonder if it'll be forgotten by the end of the year, though. Hoping it doesn't.
Not by me.
Not by me either.
No, by us, I'm sure it won't be. But some of the bigger places,
like Game of the Year list,
they tend to forget about the early, smaller games.
Yep.
There is some. It is getting a little bit of flack about being a $50 price tag, and with as much as I've played it at this point, I don't mind the $50.
There's nothing wrong with $50. If it was $80, yes, I think there would be an issue there. But yeah,
I can see
$50 is the new budget.
Yeah, you look at like a game like Hollow Knight or something like that, and that'll give you just as much gameplay and longevity, but it's much cheaper. Like I kind of see where people are coming from, but as much as I've enjoyed this and put into it, like I've definitely got my money's worth out of it.
Yeah, and I was talking to we were chatting. Scott and I were chatting on Discord, and he mentioned about some of the flack that it was getting for the price, and I'm like, I don't really see that, but I'm also not the best judge, because I also did pay $300 for the Kickstarter on Bloodstained, so it is my favorite genre, and I'm willing to throw extra money at it to keep these games coming. So, but the $50 price tag for me is not a big deal. It's worth it for me.
Yeah, same.
No, it's especially from a publisher as big as Ubisoft, I think that's kind of fair. And again, I know I compared it to Metroid Dread last time, and that was $80 or whatever. And I love Metroid Dread. It might be my favorite Metroidvania. But this one is, I'd say, just as good, and it might end up being better for me in the end. And it's $50. So we will take. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say this is approaching my top 5 of Metroidvania games. It's getting there.
In Canada, we'll take it, because our expensive games here are like $115 with tax. So any little difference like that is definitely appreciated. I want to see more of this. I hope it does well. at least enough to get a sequel, have this team continue it. Because this is the type of games that people need to be buying, especially in today's climate with the industry. $300 million games doesn't really sustain the industry that well with what's happening. And if a game doesn't sell well, that fucks a lot of people. And these are the type of games that I think are sustainable with a much lower budget, and they can afford to put them out for like $50. Yeah, especially when, like you said, indie developers are doing similar scope for cheaper. So buy it, people.
And I think my biggest issue with it was the fact that it was published by Ubisoft around the time that the president of Ubisoft said gamers just need to accept not owning their games. And I'm just like, it's that certainly rubbed me the wrong way when he said that. But it's Prince of Persia is good. Support the developers that made that game is great. So yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. Word.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, then we'll pass to Jeff to do a little bit of news.
Sure. Not a lot of news happening that we want to discuss. More like, happy, uplifting stuff. We do have, speaking of Xbox Live Arcade earlier, Jason brought it up. Microsoft is looking to bring back a similar thing. Yeah. Like, I guess it's not Summer of Arcade, but it's similar to it, and I guess in the same kind of vein as that. But they're bringing in the ID at Xbox Select month. And so what they're going to do is they're going to spotlight some indie games that you might not know about. And throughout it doesn't really say what month it's going to be actually on here, does it? No. It just says games will be spotlighted every Wednesday on a dedicated channel, including one for recently released games, another for revolving around a weekly theme, which players can suggest on social media. And there'll also be a channel dedicated to indie games from across the world, as well as titles available for pre-order and games for players to wish list. The last week of the month, there'll be a showcase where 6 titles are deemed indie selects as voted by the ID at Xbox team.
Nice. Yeah, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, so somewhere you can go to the store and see some of the stuff that kind of gets lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, I appreciate the innovation in that particular industry, the indie industry, as it were. There's a lot of good stuff going on there, and you were saying before that we need to support that sort of thing. This is the way to do it. Yeah, give me that shit.
Oh, it looks like it might be every month, actually. It's like maybe a monthly thing they're going to do. Yeah.
Bring it on.
Yeah, it's a good way to find shit. There's a lot of stuff people have recommended to me that I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, you mentioned Shadow Complex. Could you imagine that, trying to
if that
survive
was lost?
And thrive? Yeah.
Damn. Hell no, that wouldn't stand a chance just being thrown on there. What was that game I played? It's fitting that I forget the name of it. It was a boomer shooter I was playing earlier, like I think it was last year. It might have been
it was like Exodus or something like that, or Modus,
I can't remember what it's called. Like that one was kind of shown advertised, but not really. But I didn't know about that until I was told about it.
Yep.
Yeah, this is cool. Get some stuff out there, and you know what they do need to do though. And I don't know how fair this is to developers of the games, but I would love if they would bring back the guaranteed demos of those games.
Right. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. That would be ideal.
It was a simpler time. Oh my God.
That was a simpler time.
I guess it depends on who's judging whether or not it's simpler.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's not simpler for the developers that need to put together the demos.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for us, it was simple to just say, okay, yeah, let me check this out, and I'll buy it afterwards.
Know whether or not you want it.
Yep.
I love the idea of giving the underdogs a boost. Like I am always a big fan of that. So I'll certainly be paying attention to that.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we were going to talk about this last week because this happened a week today, actually. It wasn't 2 weeks ago that we talked about before. Oh, that was before off the air, so never mind. But the Xbox Developer Direct happened on January 18th. And we had some technical hiccups and scheduling hiccups and so forth, so we weren't able to record last week. So here we are. So I'm sure you guys have checked this out. Well, Jason, I think has. Yep. Chris, you have not.
I didn't know it happened.
You are a terrible gamer.
I am. I'm a terrible gamer. I'm very out of touch, guys. I'm sorry.
Let's educate Chris on what happened.
Yes, educate me, please.
Yes, okay. So to this noob over here, they had their Xbox Direct, which is something that's their second year doing it, where they highlight 4 games, and they've been tradition now because the 5th one has always surprised everyone and shown up. Last year was Hi-Fi Rush, and that shadow dropped. There's no shadow drop this year, but they did have a surprise game. But so the games were Indiana Jones, Avowed, Hellblade 2, Ava, History Untold, and Visions of Mana was the surprise game that they didn't announce was going to be on it before. So let's start with that one, just because I know why they did this. I think it was underwhelming, but this was nothing but pure pandering to Square Enix, right? Like it had to have been.
I would say so. Yeah, like giving them a nice rub on the back, I guess.
Yeah, because they want to getting good with the Japanese developers and Square Enix. And I'm not gonna lie, and a lot of people thought this when the Square Enix logo showed up. Everyone thought Final Fantasy.
Sure.
And until they scrolled down that picture, I was like, oh, it's a Secret of Mana game, which is fine. Secret of Mana, it does look good if you're into that kind of thing. But that part was disappointing. But yeah, I think this is more of a PR move, I think, than anything. But it was cool to see, like a nice deep dive on that. And Chris, I know I've asked you. I thought you were a big Mana fan, but you're not so much.
I have them all, but I have never gotten through them. I'm not sure what it is. Like, I think it's the first Secret of Mana game. It kind of restricts you on like how often you swing. Because you have to essentially get your energy back to swing at full power.
Yeah.
And that always was kind of a turnoff. So I never got around to getting deep into that game. It's probably a mechanic that I would easily get used to if I gave it a longer chance, but I just never got around to it. I was going to ask though, didn't they announce a Mana game on?
Oh yeah, the game's already been announced. It wasn't a surprise game that was announced, but it's the first Mana game to show up on Xbox.
Okay, because I thought I remembered Visions coming. Yeah, I thought I remembered that hitting PlayStation, right, or PC, both maybe. I don't remember.
But yeah,
I can't remember where it was announced. It was announced at one of the things, E3 or whatever. Or no, was it the Game Awards? Might have been at the Game Awards.
Yeah, I think it was at the Game Awards. I just don't remember what platforms they were announcing it for.
Oh, it was announced for Xbox, and it was announced for everything, but it was Square has been kind of like dodgy with the Xbox platform lately, especially like their tentpole releases, and so that's why it was like a thing, like to have them on their developer direct, which was, that's why I'm saying it was mostly, I think, a PR thing to be like, hey.
I mean, it's not a bad thing though, No,
not at all.
Certainly might be a PR move, but anything that they can help that relationship again.
Oh, for sure.
and get those games back on Xbox.
It looks okay. Like I might give it a shot. Who knows? Probably not for a bit. Another game that is again sound like Eeyore here, but not my cup of tea. But the Ava History Untold.
Another 4X.
What do you think about this, Jason?
No, this is not
your jam.
Yeah, I tuned out during this. It looks great for what it is. That it's not my kind of game though. Sorry.
Yeah, Chris, this is like a little bunch of this. I think it's the Civ developer or X developers. I think they made one game before this one, but it's basically a Civilizations type game.
Oh yeah, that's
so kind of like
it's a 4X sim game. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. So, but like Jason said, it looked cool. If you like that stuff, I don't think that's one genre I don't think I could ever get into. I just don't think so. Well, I said the same thing about CRPGs too, but look at where we are now. But yeah, but at least that had like the content that I liked. It was just the mechanics I didn't. This is the whole thing. I'm like, history, fuck the history. I don't care if it's whatever. I'm not at school. What is this? Not living at home anymore. That does look cool. It's at the PC though. It's not coming out for Xbox yet. So that's also noted.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the other? Okay, so now we'll go to the big three, I guess. Sorry, I keep trying to pull out my freaking thing here, and it's not. Whatever. Okay, cool. Hellblade 2. Let's go with that.
Sure.
They showed Hellblade 2 again.
This is Hellblade 2 and more. Like,
yes,
but it looks great. It looks great. Like they've overhauled the combat engine. That looks fantastic. Very cinematic. Once again, and then they've kind of redone the auditory stuff to make it even more 3D-ish.
Yes, it's not just the voices now; it's the like everything. Yeah,
it's all over the place. So just an enhanced version of that game, which was pretty cool. It scares the shit out of me.
I liked it.
So
there was a couple talking points for this one. One was it's also a budget game, which I don't think anyone saw coming. It's also $50.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's also Game Pass too, but if you're to buy it, and they did come out and say that it is the same scope as the first one. So you're looking at like an 8-hour game, basically. Yeah. So, which I'm fine with. It was a tight experience. They just need to fix the stuff that needed fixing, mainly the combat and the pacing towards the end were my two issues. Now I'm looking forward to it. And then another talking point was digital only. And I don't know if we want to talk about this. Nah, we can talk about it later in a different show when we hear more of it. But a lot of people were kind of ticked that a main release is not getting a physical copy of it, which I can understand. But I think some people can see like Hi-Fi Rush makes sense. Smaller, not indie, but smaller type game. Sure, doesn't need a physical. Pentiment doesn't need a physical. Hellblade 2, like one of your tentpole games, the first game that was ever announced for the console. Likely a bigger budget. That pissed some people off.
I guess so. The shit is so over though. Like it's done.
It's definitely over. The writing's on the wall. Yeah. It is done. But that's what people were like talking about that. Mind you, this is Twitter. It's not the general public. General public don't give a shit about physical. I mean, if they did, this wouldn't be a thing.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
I still like my physical games.
Yeah.
Well, I know. There's people that do. Me too. Yeah. It's just that we're not the majority. We're in the vast minority.
Seems that way.
They have all the numbers. They know. It's like, no, not worth it. So yeah, and that's going out in May.
Just got a shipment from Limited Run today.
There you go. Well, that might be the way you have to get all your physical games in the future.
Like Hellblade 2 coming to Limited Run.
yeah, exactly. That's probably what they'll do. They might end up doing like more stuff like this because outside of Nintendo, I think mostly everything's going to be digital. And that's going out May 21st. So that did get a date.
Okay,
so
you can preload it now, like they were advertising the shit out of it.
I hate that though.
Yeah,
no, it's not. Okay, so
I was gonna say that sounds really weird.
No, like I can
doing
go
this
on the
thing.
Xbox store, or I can go into Game Pass right now and preload Hellblade 2.
No, you can, but it's not.
It's not
preloading.
It's not the full
It's
game.
literally a placeholder of art that you're downloading. And I think it's just a way for them to gauge like interest, I guess. Sure. And it might set your console to be like when this comes out, it'll automatically download. But I don't like how they're using like because you're not pre-downloading anything. It's like 2 megs. It's but I still do it though.
And you get an image on your desktop.
Exactly. That's exactly what you're doing. You're pre-ordering a Game Pass game for free and getting an image of it. I mean, I still do it. So they're obviously like,
they're
like,
winning. They're winning.
I want to look at that art. I want that on there. That's cool. And then I'll get tricked every once in a while and be like, oh yeah, that's right. It's not out yet. Then I'll delete it.
On it and nothing happens.
I'll delete and then later come back and be like, oh, okay, fine. I'll just re-download that again. Just to look at it. Cool. It's like my Steelbooks. They just kind of sit there. I don't do anything with them and just look at them every once in a while. So maybe it's not a bad thing.
Hey, Jeff, I pre-ordered Rebirth when I got the one with the Steelbook.
Yeah, you did? Yes.
Damn.
Same.
Nice.
I changed my pre-order from GameStop to Best Buy because Best Buy also has a pre-order Steelbook bonus. So I get 2 Steelbooks.
Oh, interesting.
Yay.
I have a Steelbook for my Steelbook.
That's what I did for 16 as well. So I got to keep that tradition alive. They showed more Avowed, which
Tell me about this. You guys were talking about.
So this is cool because this is the reason why I want to talk about this. Because when they first showed this, I was kind of iffy on it, but they just yesterday did another deeper dive into Avowed. just like on YouTube, where they did like a stream or something, which cleared up way more shit that I was like, why didn't they show this at the Direct? Because they showed the game. It does look a lot better than what they showed at E3 last year. Graphically, it doesn't look amazing. It doesn't look like, it's not going to blow your mind. It's not going to look like Final Fantasy 16, but it's not supposed to. It's Obsidian. They're not really a AAA studio. So, but it looks better than what they showed last year. And they try to be like, this is what we're doing different. And then they go on to name, you go on quests. Okay. You're going to select dialogue choices. Okay. You can have weapons. Oh, weapons, you say, in a fantasy game. That's new. Never seen that before. And then they don't really show anything. They had like the character kind of like walking around. They would show some combat, very brief combat. They're like, you can dual wield wands, which I'm like, that'd be cool if wands weren't so dumb. I'm not a wand guy. I'm just like, I think they're pretty stupid. So I'm like, even like the Harry Potter game, like I wish they weren't holding those damn wands. Because do you remember the first Avowed reveal where they did that thing that Ghostwire Tokyo did, where they did the magic with like the hands and like we're drawing. Sure, yeah, it looked fucking cool. And then now that looks like the magic is like wands or whatever, which is fine. I get it. Harry Potter's a thing and people like wands. But you can dual wield those. You can use a wand with a gun, which is cool. You can change which way you want to use, like combat or whatever. That's fine. Yeah. But the combat they showed was very lackluster. And then when they did an example of a quest, they said, "Oh, well, depending on what you do here, when you go back to the town, there's going to be like a drastic change." But they didn't show anything.
They showed like a difference in like the dialogue tree. It's like, okay, he's kind of angry here, or he wants to fight you here, or he'll go along with you here. Like it seemed very surface level stuff. I don't know.
Yes. It was kind of like, hey, we made a video game, and I didn't walk away with it knowing any more than I knew 5 minutes before they showed it. That doesn't change. Like, again, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be my jam. Like I want to say Star World. What the fuck's that game called? It's impossible to get this name right. No, it's impossible to get the name of this right. So if you don't say Star World, no, then I get it mixed up with Outer Worlds. Okay, there we go. Anyway, that's what it's going to be. It's a scope like that. Fantasy looked okay. And then yesterday they showed more of a deeper dive. They showed more of the combat. They showed more like cool spells and like synergy you can use with the different weapons by dual wielding, using a shield and a sword, shield and a wand, whatever, like two guns if you want to, a bow and a sword. And they showed more of like the environments and the quest. I'm like, okay, they probably should have put some of this in that, but but that's also this year. Apparently, it's the fall. I think they said fall, definitely 2024. Okay, so. Yes, I know it sounds like I was negative on that, but I really do think it's good. I just thought the showing of it at the Direct was not that great.
It was not a good look. Yeah,
I was not impressed. Just like that's. Yeah, I was like, okay.
I wasn't sure what you were talking about until you mentioned the
hand thingy.
The crafting of the spells with the hands. I remember seeing that, and I remember being interested in that trailer. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch the Developer Connect and make sure.
Watch that, or watch, if you're just going to see Avowed, watch the one they did yesterday.
Did they do some additional stuff on yesterday? Okay.
Have you been listening?
Yep. Sort of, mostly. No, I missed it. I missed that you said that there was something new yesterday. So
yeah, they did a new like deeper dive thing on the YouTube channel yesterday. Yes. So, and then the last one also this year is Indiana Jones. They finally pulled the curtain back on that, and I didn't think I was going to be hyped up for Indiana Jones. I'm hyped up for fucking Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
I will say I saw that it was it's not they're not trying to recreate one of the previous entries.
No.
Like this is a different entry.
Yeah, between different movies. Yeah, it's its own thing.
It's between Raiders and Last Crusade. Between those two.
Okay. Interesting.
So he's a little bit younger, and they used Troy Baker's doing his best Harrison Ford impression.
Yeah, that's really good.
Which I thought sounded fine.
Yeah.
Sorry?
It's really good. It sounds great.
Yeah, I thought it was Harrison Ford at first. I'm like, are they using some kind of weird
really?
AI?
Okay, good.
Yeah, I was like, what? And the facial model looks great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
the villain looks
Baker's
good.
Talented as hell, voice actor.
Yeah. And people didn't like that either. Apparently, Tori Baker pissed people off lately. I don't know. I didn't
whatever.
look into it. I'm like, why do people hate everything? As I just went through and named all the shit I didn't like about the Avowed reveal.
I hate everything. I'm going to start shopping at Hot Topic. Okay.
Oh man, but Jason, what do you think? You saw that. Are you mad that this is first person and not third person?
No, I mean that's exactly what I expected from this developer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what they're known for doing. Like, I get their, the reasoning, they want to be immersive or whatever, but they're making concessions and they're having specific moments be third person as well. When you're climbing up pipes and shit like that, it'll switch to third person. But for the most part, like that's their wheelhouse. Of course, it was.
It's machine games. Yeah. They're not going to pull them out of that, and they make like immersive games in first person, and they've made one bad game in my opinion. That was Wolfenstein Youngblood. I did not think that was good.
Yeah.
But everything else has been great. And the combat looked good. They punching Nazis in the face when they're going through that montage of him punching.
Knocking their fucking guns out of their hands. And
pulling out the gun, doing the one-shot thing, like tripping them up with the whip, using the whip to climb up on stuff, to distract enemies. That was cool. When he cracks the whip and the enemy's like, huh? And he goes around, smacks him in the face with a shovel. I think it looks good. I think this is going to be...
See, what you described it all sounds very Indiana Jones. Like, it all feels like it fits.
It nailed the feel of it for sure. Good. I was scared and I was like, I don't know. But I was sold. I was like, okay, yep. And
I love Indiana Jones, and they've made some games in the past and I've never owned any of them. So this is... I hope that there's some justice to this IP on the.
You didn't play the old ones like Fate of Atlantis or anything like that?
No, I didn't.
Fate of Atlantis was good.
Was it? Okay.
I remember it being good. Again, I was probably like fucking 12 or 13. I don't know how old I was when that came out. I was definitely young. But yeah, definitely check that out, dude. It looks good. Will do. And that's this year as well. Of course, speculation. All these could be pushed. None of them could be pushed. This one gives me, I'm actually more, I would put money that Indiana Jones has a better chance of coming out than Avowed does, only because it was apparently supposed to come out in 2022, and the pandemic stopped that. So I'm thinking Indy was, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
I just hope that Hellblade makes it out, because they've been, as you said, it's one of the first things that they showed.
Oh, I have no doubt that's coming. Yeah, it's too close to... I feel if they were not positive they're going to hit that date, they would not have done it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, especially after last year, especially after like most of those games got delayed. They're like, no, we can't let that happen again. Trying to think what else they showed or anything like that. That was pretty much it. Those are that was all 5 of them, I guess, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. We do have, because it's related to this, we do have a listener tweet for this that I will bring up in 1 second, because it decided to leave here.
Of course it did.
You guys talk amongst yourself for like 2 seconds?
Sure.
Oh, Chris, actually, or either Jason. Have you guys seen the new Indiana Jones movie? I have not seen that yet. Is it worth watching, or is it really a turd?
No. Uh-uh.
Oh, okay.
I know that Crystal Skull got a really bad rap. I didn't think it was awful, but it certainly wasn't great.
I'm just not a big Indiana Jones guy at all.
Oh, really?
But
I love the first 3 movies.
This game looks really good.
Yeah. All right, you guys can stop buying time now.
All right.
Okay. So, Just Dan, also known as Dan V. Mall on the Twitters.
Nice.
Also want to apologize to him. I got his tweet mixed up with someone else's last episode.
Oops.
We worked it out. I was like, oh shit, my bad. So just basically asked what people's thoughts were. He said, Indy, fantastic showing.
Yep.
Absolutely nailed the tone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hellblade 2. I don't buy physical, but want it there for folks who enjoy it. Game looks great. No need to see more. Avowed gave me Oblivion vibes, one of my most anticipated games of 2024. And Ara will play when it comes to console.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks,
that all
Dan.
sounds fair.
Nothing on mana.
I did not mention anything about mana.
Okay.
I did see a lot of people on Twitter's during mana. They're upset it wasn't Final Fantasy, and I mean, if you're not into that series, I can see it coming off as it looks like a kid's game. Like, let's be honest. Like it's.
But that's the thing. It's like this is them testing the Xbox water. I think.
I know. But so, like I said,
my hope is that Visions of Mana sells on Xbox, because that's how you're going to start seeing Final Fantasy come back to it again.
Yeah. Well, I think. I think the Final Fantasy thing isn't just Square Enix's decision. I think Sony, especially for the 16 and definitely the remake, because I thought that was.
I would say 7 remake, yeah, probably, but
yeah, and the rumor was that 16's exclusivity contract's done at the end of February. So, but again, who knows? But yes, I think they do need to sell on the Xbox for them to be like, we're putting everything there no matter what. Again, but I think the Final Fantasies, I think that's going to happen. I think that's just, especially with Square's financials they've been posting, they're going to do it. They have no choice. Or definitely go to PC, because I don't think 16's on PC yet, is it?
No.
I don't think yet, no.
Is Remake on PC?
The first one, yeah.
The first one is on PC? Yeah, I would not be surprised if they go there at some point soon. But yeah, but that was it. That was the developer direct.
All right. Well, thank you, Jeff. I think that is a show, gentlemen. Do we have anything before we wrap up and get out of here?
I don't think so.
Nope.
Play Prince of Persia?
Yes, please.
Yes, please play Prince of Persia.
Yes.
But yeah, that's it for now. Thank you guys for listening. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, please tell a few friends about us. Like, subscribe, and comment, because all those things help us out a lot. interactivedistractions.com will get you to our Linktree, and our Linktree will get you to our Patreon if you want to help out, as well as our Discord if you want to come and join the conversation. We'd love to have you. But until next time, my name is Chris.
For sure.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Jeff.
Play your games, and we'll talk to you next time.